안녕! 요즘 어떻게 지내요? Good. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded in a week. It feels kind of weird not to. But today I bring you the glorious 8 Korean movies you may or may not heard of that are absolutely freaking amazing. So, I hope you guys like my recommendations because I've actually wanted to make this video for a really long time because I'm very passionate about movies that I really like. Alright, so let's dive in. They're not in any particular order because I really love them all on different levels, so I'll just I'll tell you the movie, I'll tell you a little bit of what it's about, and then I'll just, kind of tell you what genre it is and everything, and yeah, so 가자! 그런데 지금 배고파. 가자. Now these movies, they are what I consider lesser known movies. And when I say lesser known, I mean lesser known to non-Koreans. These are to spread your wings out a little bit and enjoy some of the movies that I really love. So, in no particular order, I have Voices. It's called Voices, or it has a second title called Someone Behind You. In Korean, it's 두 사람이다, which doesn't mean someone behind you or voices, so that makes no sense. First of all, it's really gory. Second of all, it is probably the only horror movie on this list, even though I love horror movies. I need more horror movies. So if you have any recommendations for good Korean horror movies, please, please, please tell me because I've been looking everywhere and it's been a long time since I've seen a good one. This movie is about a girl who, it's been so long it's hard for me to even tell you what it's about. Basically, it starts out with a bang, so it catches my attention from the beginning. Basically all of her friends, her family, everybody just starts acting freaking weird all of a sudden and she has no idea. Honestly, that's the best as I can explain it because it's been like a year and a half since I've seen it. But I promise you that it's definitely worth watching. It is so good. My second movie is called Beautiful, or 아름답다. I think that's how you pronounce it. Please correct me if it's not. Let me just take a breath here. Holy crap, because Kim Ki-duk, I don't know, I haven't seen it written out. Kim Ki-duk, whatever. His movies, I have like another one of his movies on this list too. Honestly, he's my favorite director. Oh my gosh, his movies are so good. They just make you think. They just make you like think of everything differently and you just can't help but like think about the movie for days afterwards. So this movie is about a woman who is so unbelievably beautiful that guys literally, they follow her around, they stalk her, they send her flowers. She just gets like showered with all this affection constantly. People come up to her thinking she's a movie star. And she accepts it all, but she's kind of, you can tell she's kind of like, she's done with it. She's like, okay, alright, I just want to live a normal life, One day something horrible happens. I'm not going to get into it because I want you guys to watch it. But something really bad happens to her and she starts to want to try everything that she can to become not beautiful, so she'll stop getting attention. So she tries to gain weight. She eats and eats and eats and eats and tries to gain weight so she'll be unattractive. That doesn't work for her, so she starts to want to become anorexic to be unattractive. So she like works out and like doesn't eat anything at all, and like it's just really intense and it's really, really, really sad what she goes through in the movie. Definitely a drama. The girl in the movie, Cha-Soo-yeon, she, I guess, from what I hear, it took the director so long to find an actress who hadn't had plastic surgery because he wanted a natural beauty for this movie. And she's so pretty. If somebody can tell me where or how to buy the movie Beautiful on DVD, I will literally like just be so happy I would probably die. The next movie, this movie is a drama, and it is the only movie out of the bunch that I'm going to say is not for everybody because it takes a special certain someone to appreciate it. Basically, it's more of an art house film, more of like an independent kind of movie, but that doesn't mean that, you know, if you've never liked those kinds in the past that you won't like it, because guess what? That's me. I don't really like independent movies, and I watched this for a class and I was like, the feels, it was so good. And the most unique part about it was that the main character does not say one single word throughout the entire movie. I'm not joking. He literally does not say one word throughout the whole movie. And the supporting actress only says one sentence, or one word? One sentence at the very end of the movie. So, as you can imagine, the movie is almost completely silent. It's really cool. Movie's called 3 Iron, also directed by Kim Ki-duk. Again, is it Kim Ki-duk or Kim Ki-duk? I don't, there's no sound like that in the Korean language. Kim Ki-duk. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. Anyway, directed by him because he's like, because he directs the best movies. It's called Binjip in Korean, and it is freaking amazing, like, to be honest. It's about this guy who breaks into random houses when people are gone on vacation or just gone, and he hangs out in their house. I'm not even kidding. He breaks in, he hangs out, but you have to look at the tiny, like, I feel like I'm in like a film class talking about this because I love this movie so much. You have to look at the really small details of the movie to really understand it and enjoy it. If you're willing to take the chance on a really different kind of feeling movie, seriously, it's amazing. It's so good. Okay, next movie is a movie that I watched more recently because guess what? Guess what, all you Netflix fans? It's on Netflix! So if you want to watch it tonight on Netflix, dude, go ahead and do it because it's there. It's called Handphone, or Handphone in Korean, and I honestly was not expecting it to be as good as it was. It's definitely like a thriller. It's about a guy whose phone gets like whose phone gets kidnapped. Loses his phone and it's got like important stuff on it. He's trying to catch the guy who has his phone, and the guy who has his phone is like, seems like a normal guy at first, but yeah, not so normal. It's very enjoyable from beginning to end, I thought. I loved it. Next movie is, how do you say this in Korean? It's the most recent one I've watched, and it's called Helpless, or in Korean it is Hwata, I guess. It came out earlier this year, so it's very new. And honestly, like, from the very beginning, like, I don't think a movie has grabbed me so fast ever. As soon as the movie started, I was like, what's going on? What's gonna happen? And I was like, tell me! It's about a guy who he marries this woman, and then they're on their way back from somewhere, I can't remember where, and he like stops at a rest stop or something, and he's like, just 1 second, you know, I'm gonna go grab something, I forgot. And when he comes back to the car door is open, and it's raining outside, and she's gone. His wife is like, just gone. And he's like, what the hell? So he tries calling her, she doesn't answer, and she's just gone. And he spends the entire movie looking for her. Like, in the whole movie you're like, where did she go? And then like, you go deeper into it and it's like, she's not who she said she was, and it's like, oh my gosh, what? So amazing. I'm saying that about every movie, but you know what? That's why I'm making this video. Because I want to share it with you guys, because it's good stuff. Next movie is called Secret, or I guess it says here sometimes it's called Saving My Wife, which is a much lamer title than Secret, but it also tells you a little bit more about the movie, and it's definitely a thriller. I watched it, thought it was amazing, made my best friend watch it, and then made my boyfriend watch it with me. In Korean, it's just Secret. Literally Secret. Or Saving My Wife. 정말? It's basically about this guy who, this detective, whose wife comes home one night, like, has some blood on her, missing an earring, just looks like completely like shady and like weird. And he's like, you know, what happened to you? And she's like, I want to talk about it. She goes to bed. And the next day he investigates a crime scene where he finds his wife's earring and his wife's like lipstick is on the glass and like all this stuff. So what he does is he tries to help her. He tries to hide the fact that his wife's evidence is all over the place. So he like sneakily like, you know, takes all the evidence from the crime scene that links it to her and just tries throughout the whole movie basically just to protect his wife, even though she's kind of a bitch. And I'm not kidding. I don't think I've seen a movie with like this many twists in it ever. It has like at least 3 solid twists in it. Like the movie ends and you're like, okay, the movie's over. One good twist done. And then it like goes black and then it comes back on with another part of the movie. And another twist happens and then it goes black and you're like, oh, holy shit. And then it comes back on and you're like, so if you're watching this on Netflix, it's also available on Netflix, don't just turn it off when it goes black. Watch till the very end. Now, the last 2 movies I have here are I feel like are a little bit more known, maybe. Anyway, the first one is May 18th. It's actually based on a true story of the massacre that happened in Gwangju back in the 80s. It's actually very, very sad. It's like not necessarily a war movie, but like a political protest movie, war-ish related, action-packed and very dramatic. And I cried very hard. The last movie I have on my list here is... Sometimes I think, like, you know, between Oldboy and this movie, and I'm like, which one is really my favorite Korean movie? Because they're both so good. A lot of you might have heard of it. It's called The Chaser. But for people who haven't heard of it, over any movie on this list, no matter who you are, you're gonna like this movie. Like, I guarantee it. You are going to enjoy and love this movie. And it's on Netflix last time I checked. It's about a guy who, he's a pimp, and his prostitutes start going missing. So he assumes that somebody's like kidnapping them and like selling them off somewhere. So he investigates. He notices that they all go missing with the same guy. So he has, you know, he sends out one of his like, you know, prostitutes or whatever to the guy's house, and he gives her like, you know, rules saying like, you know, when you get there, I want you to text me the address. But she gets there and there's no signal, so she can't text the address. Basically, this dude is doing some crazy stuff. Like, I do not want to go into it further than that because I don't want to ruin it for you. But he is... And the ending... The ending. I can't. You need to watch it. I mean, again, if any of these movies are going to get into your head, this is the one that you need to watch, okay? I promise. 오늘 밤은 안 피곤해. 이번 주말에 충충충. I don't know how to say it. So there you have it. There's my list of 8 movies that you need to see, 8 lesser known Korean movies that you need to watch. I'm gonna put links in the description to the pages where you can read more about these movies. I want you guys to watch it, and then if you watch it, then like tell me about it and tell me what you thought, because I like to talk about movies a lot. Or if you've already seen some of them, do not post spoilers. I'm watching you. I will delete your comment. 고마워 for watching. I'm gonna go eat, so 안녕!